stickers keep popping. Hey, welcome to the Death of a Dream podcast. It's just a community of greatness. So if you're here, gear on up. Gear on up. You must gear up. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and ground ourselves in our greatness. It's something we do every day. Every day. So yesterday I interviewed a guest who will actually be featured today, and I like to do them, in my vision of what this becomes. I don't produce 2 podcasts in one day. We're not there yet. I'm getting better at editing. I'm getting faster at producing materials. And I'm getting better at getting people scheduled out, but this is still new, right? This is a new process for me. So I'm allowing myself grace, obviously, and always. I'm allowing myself to find windows that work for me. And right now that workflow just really lies within that day. And it's been kind of fun. I think I talked about it last week that it's been fun to be in demand, to be working under a timeline, and to be working for someone. And, basically giving someone a chance that I never had. Because I don't look at metrics. I look for people that speak to things that our audience needs. I want to bring people who have something to say, right? And have that conversation. And it's not that we agree on everything, but if we can agree in that moment on the one thing, the one topic, the item that we are trying to bring to the show, to expand, to ignite, to refire, to give you someone else in your network that's going to bring you good things that support us and grow us, then that's the kind of work that I want to do. And that's why we added this bonus series. It's just another chance for us to grow and get perspective and bring in different voices, because this is what I've learned more than anything over my years. It's not going to take one person. That one voice isn't going to be enough. I knew this early on in coaching. The way I say something, the way I teach something, the way that I do something and explain something may make no sense at all to you. And you could go to another coach and for whatever reason, you have a better connection. You understand what they're saying. They say it in a way that makes sense to you. They show it in a way, whatever that is. I don't care. It's about growth. It's about learning. And it's not about me. It's about you. And so if I can bring voices in that say things in a different way, that maybe connect with you because they have a different story than the one I'm telling, that maybe connect with you because you just see yourself in them, whatever that is, I want more of that. I want more voices. I want someone to keep tapping, right? Maybe I'm not giving you enough. Maybe I'm giving you too much. Either way, can we keep finding people that keep reaching deeper, to keep you on your self-work, on your journey of finding yourself and finding your truth. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help you get back to living life on your terms, because I wasn't living life on my terms, period. I didn't even know what they were, quite frankly, right? And that's what this whole thing is about. So yesterday, I had been asking for so long, how do you make friends? How do you adult? How do you do all of these things? I don't know. And I thought for the longest time, it must be me. I must not be good at this. Geez, I'm not good at adulting. Geez, how do you make friends? Geez. Right? And all the while, I was making friends. It just wasn't the same kind of friends that everybody posted about on social media. And so it felt like I was doing it wrong. And now, I meet new people every day. Like, I'm expanding minds, and I am telling you, if you listen from the start, you will hear someone who was the furthest away from that, right? I had all these ideas, and I had all these people that I wanted to surround myself with, and I didn't know how to do that, and I didn't know what you do and how you do that and how to even get started. And so we just took a step, and one more, and then one more after that. And then we kept going. And we kept growing. And we kept finding new ways and new lights and a new life. You just have to demand that you get your life, that you get to choose that life, that you are enough, that you are more than enough, that you're worth it, that those ideas in your head, that they have a place. They deserve to come out. They deserve to live somewhere other than just in your head swimming around. You crave connection. You want to be surrounded by people who think the same way that you do. Go find them. They're there. You're going to meet bad ones along the way. Stay true to what you know to be true and keep swimming. Not everybody's worth the time, but you never know what that experience is going to do to you. I remember early on doing an interview and doing it, and it went really well, and the person was like, wow, you're good at this. This is amazing. I really connected with you. This is amazing. Hey, do you want to be featured in one of the projects that I'm doing? Just because, I really connected with you and it was amazing. And I'm like, oh, shoot. Look out, world. Look out. Here I come. This is my shot. This is the thing. This is going to be it. And I'm instantly like, yes, of course I do. That was a great conversation. That was a great connection. And that person would go on to say, okay, so how many followers do you have? What's your email list? And I'm like, I'm really just starting in this work. I'm just not really at a place where I have those types of metrics, but we had a connection, right? Like, you don't just say that to everybody, right? You think I'm good, right? She's like, yeah, but get back to me when you have X amount of followers. Okay? And I remember being really hurt by that. And instead of letting that derail me, and trust, there were some conversations with some friends who do this work, being like, this really is the only thing that makes my work worthy. And then it was just like this aha moment where, no, that isn't what makes this work worthy. I make this work worthy. This work matters to me. Period. And if your measure of worth is that, then that's just your measure of worth. That has no impact on what I value, right? And I could be mad and throw people under the bus and yell and scream, but at the end of the day, that insecurity comes from this fact that is by and large how things are measured in this industry, and I am not there yet. And that's okay. That's a beautiful thing too, right? This portion of my work is called, I don't know what we call it, the value portion, where every single follow, every single life, like, share, comment, review, shakes your soul, right? and changes the way that you look at your work and the way that you value the time and the effort that you put into all of this. This is that time. And that's a beautiful thing. And so you can't be anywhere that you aren't. And I wanted to start building a community of like-minded people who want more, who push for more. And I want to bring in interviews with people who have done it, people who are still in that grind. And to me, that impact moment where someone said, okay, what are your metrics? You're only valued if you have that. And so I committed to finding people based on what they were saying and not based on how society views them, because I want people who are here to serve. And that's what I want, right? Not people who are here for a number, not people who are here for a metric. People who are here to serve, that you can connect with because I connected with them and they found value in me. And if anybody finds value in me in any type of way, then they probably will be that type of person for you too, right? And it's not to say that we won't go on and bring on people who have those metrics, who have those numbers someday, right? But I don't ever want to put that on someone, because I believe in the beauty of people's work and their message, and the connection with their message and our message is what matters, period. And so we are finding new people to join us in this movement. You can join it too. And it's shaking me to my core. I can't believe it, right? And that's just it. That's how I know. That's how I know that whatever you want to do is possible. That's how I know. Okay, so that's my great thing. Take time for yourself. Recognize yourself for your great thing, whatever that is. Practice greatness grounding. You have to do it because I told you to. And if you're going to keep listening, I'm going to keep asking. And it's going to be weird at some point if you don't. You realize that, right? Because I'm not going to stop asking you to do it. Like, don't be my 4-year-old. Don't make me keep asking. Don't make me keep asking and then pretend that you're tired and then not go to sleep when it's bedtime, but you're so tired that you could not possibly pick up that toy that's laying right by your foot because you're just too tired. Mom, can you please carry me upstairs to bed? I'm too tired. My legs won't work. I can't even walk up the stairs, please. Mom, I couldn't possibly pick up that toy. I'm just too tired. And then, like, you're this bouncing ball of energy the moment that I walk you up the stairs. Come on. I'm not falling for that anymore. I know that you can do this. I know that you can ground yourself in your greatness. I know it. So do it already. You think that I'm crazy, but I'm not. It works. It works. Period. And even if it doesn't, don't we all need to be a little bit more confident? Don't we all need to love ourselves a little bit more? Yes. So just do it. Okay. Not going to talk about it anymore. All right. So this keeps happening and I have to talk about it. And it may sound a little bit annoying, and I'm hoping that it doesn't. And I'm hoping that you go, oh, I just love her anyways, because this portion may sound a little name droppy, which it's not. Okay. I'm not dropping any names, but it's going to sound a little annoying, but just bear with me. I have a point. So this used to be said to me all the time. And every boss that I have had through my journey, through my work life, they have said this. And my mother used to say it too. And so it doesn't come as a shock, but it used to infuriate me to no end. To no end. And it's going to sound crazy because you're going to go, oh, that should make you feel great, but I'm going to explain it, okay? So by and large, people who are above me would say, you're going to do amazing things. We're all going to be working for you someday. You realize that. And this isn't like one person said that. This repeated over and over through my journey. And every time they would say that, I would just look at them like, then what? Then tell me. That's great, but I don't feel great. I don't feel great about any of this. You're saying I'm going to do great things. When is that going to happen? And how do I start walking that path? How am I going to have people work for me someday working here? Can you just explain that to me? Should I get on a CEO track? Am I doing the right things? Can you please map this out? Right? And so they would say that. And then I'd be like, okay, well then if everybody's going to work for me, then that must mean that I'm supposed to run this place. Like, okay, then how do you do that? Who do I need to meet? What do we need to do? Can you explain this to me? And that's what I would say to my boss. Okay, then what am I supposed to do? And then they'd put me on some sort of leadership track that I certainly wasn't qualified for, but they would speak for me endlessly because they believed in me. Right? And this has happened every time. And every time I would get pissed. I would just be like, please don't say that. Just don't say that. Because it's not true. And if no one's going to tell me, then how am I supposed to be this thing? How am I supposed to be this great? Like, can we stop saying that? And then I just spin for a couple of weeks, like sitting on that, like, what? What am I supposed to do? Why does this keep being said? That's dumb. No, I'm not. How do I get there? What am I supposed to do? And the problem was this. I kept asking, what am I supposed to do? How do I get there? Can you tell me? What's the plan? Do you know? Do you know? Am I supposed to go this route? Do you want me to go this way? How do you suppose that I get there? You see this in me. You're calling on greatness. How? How? What? When? Where? How? Tell me. They could never tell me. They could never tell me. And that became even more frustrating, right? Because it was like running on a hamster wheel. All of a sudden they'd say this amazing thing and you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be great. And this really important person just told me that I'm really important and that I'm really good at this and that they see all this value in me and I'm supposed to be great and awesome. I'm great, right? If someone just says it, then it happens, right? Doors are going to open, they're going to swing open in my favor, and people are going to start telling me where I'm supposed to go, and I'm going to be guided on this path to greatness, right? Because of this one thing that someone important said. And it would never happen. And I'd run. And I'd run and I'd run and I'd run. And doors would close. Or windows would open. Right? But I was just like, okay, I'm just trusting that this is supposed to be the thing. But like, is no one going to guide me? Really? I'm just supposed to figure out what to do with this? Really? That's a heavy lift. Right? And so I would endlessly fume at that comment, at people telling me that. And that sounds like the silliest, craziest thing that I've ever said here on this podcast. You can mark it today, September, I don't know, is it the 15th? Seriously, what day is it? 16th. Okay, it's on my computer. This may be the craziest thing, but when people would tell me that, I would lose my shit completely. I didn't even know how to react to it anymore. And I would start to just pile on this insecurity complex of like, no, it's not going to happen. You can go ahead and keep saying that, but I don't believe it. I definitely don't believe it now. There's no path. No one's telling me what I'm supposed to do. How am I supposed to figure out this greatness thing that you're all saying when you aren't telling me what to do? Right? And so the more that was said, and the more that people would ask then, what do you want to do? I started to actually think about what I wanted to do. And that movement, that idea that I had no idea, right? That I didn't know. I didn't know my next move. I was just waiting for someone to tell me. I had to go back and figure out where that came from. Why I don't think that it's up to me at all, right? And that led us here to this podcast, to dreaming again, to demanding again. And over the past 3 weeks, I've been interviewing more guests. I've been interviewed on more shows. I've had new opportunities that I've never had before. And this isn't to like, oh, mic drop, look at me, I'm killing it. People told me I was going to be great. Look at. This is to say, all of those people that I've been connecting with have said that same thing that my bosses used to say to me. Hanna, I don't know. One of my guests actually said, I don't see visions very often. And this may be a different level of crazy, but I see so much in you, in your ability, in the amazing things that you're going to do. She's like, I can just feel it. I can feel it radiating from you. It's almost contagious. I can feel the warmth and the energy. This is where you're supposed to be. Right? And I heard that. And for the first time, and that was the first person who said it. And for the first time, I wasn't frustrated by it. I was like, yes. You're right. I am. This is it. This is the path. And you know why it's the path? Because it's the one that I freaking chose. You know why the greatness comment was so frustrating before? Because I was waiting. I was waiting for a path. I was waiting for someone to come tell me. And you know what? It wasn't ever going to play out. Because everyone else's interpretation of what my greatness would be and where it would be applied is not going to work. You have to interpret your own life. There are so many amazing things that are out here that you are meant to do, and you're sitting on them. You're waiting. Why? Why? You can start moving today, and I can tell you as someone who just started moving blind and scared and unsure and sure that one thing was true, that I might just be insane, right? I can tell you that you can take that first step today, that you can start writing or healing or speaking or drawing or going back to school or applying for that job or whatever that is. But the one thing I want you to get straight is that it is you. You decide that from here on out. Got it? Yesterday I posted something. Gosh, what was it? Oh, you get to choose what you are when you grow up. I don't know that I said that right, and that definitely isn't what the post stated, but whatever. You get to choose. And I posted that not because I'm like, oh, you get to choose. This is Neverland. Cool. No. I posted it because that could have saved my life, right? That could have saved me from the misery of this journey up into this point. That one thing. And if it can help one person believe that they actually get to decide, then it's done its work, period. And I will keep serving things that helped me, that would have saved me. I will keep doing that work. And so this comment keeps revolving, and I am telling you, we are on the brink of amazing things. I don't know, but I can feel it too. And this is the first time that I've felt it, that I've felt those comments, and that I haven't felt buried in the emotion of that comment and in the swimming and climbing out of what that actually means. I get what it means now. And it feels so right. And I don't hate that comment. I love it. I'm here for it because I decided what that meant. I decided where my greatness led me. Right? And that's what it is. Right? Do you ever just feel like you're swimming and people keep telling you how amazing you are, or they're telling you how terrible you are, or they're saying both the things at the same time, and it's just fucking confusing at this point. Like, am I good? Am I bad? Who am I? Hold on. Right? Like, do you ever just feel like you're swimming in comments and that you didn't really have a say ever? And that people have been deciding this whole thing, and that you're really just waiting for someone to come along. Like, can a fairy godmother, like, why isn't it all like the fairy tales? Why don't people just come out of like the woods in your story and go, bink, you're there, you've arrived, here's the life, it doesn't happen that way. You have to keep fighting for yourself. You have to keep showing up to find what it's supposed to be. And I'm sorry that you had to get hurt along the way to figure out who you're supposed to be. I know. Right? But don't wait until you're hurt so bad that you finally wake up. And I'm talking with a guest today about that exact thing. Stop waiting. Start listening. People are telling you. The reason that I was pissed at that comment before is because I wasn't on the right freaking path. Right? Greatness doesn't feel good when you're not aligned. Comments that are meant to boost your ego and your self-esteem don't feel good when they're not aligned with work that you want to do. When you're just waiting for someone to tell you where you're supposed to go, it's never going to feel right. Because you're not choosing it. And so the biggest thing that I can say is start working on you. Start focusing on what you want. And yes, selfish as that sounds, do it. And today's guest, we're talking about just that. Why it's vital to start working on yourself, to start focusing on you. And yes, that means that you're going to say no. And if you need help with reasons to say no, please check out my Instagram story, because I found the most delicious soundbite from a podcast and went on to listen to that podcast, and it is pure genius. Go listen, like, and follow these women. It's important. If you need a list of amazing people to follow, go ahead and look at The Death of a Dream and look at the people that I follow, because those are all people who have impacted my journey in some way and said something that meant something to me. Okay? Here's the deal. We all have greatness in us. Period. And greatness is self-defined. Right? You're gonna know. You're gonna know when you get there. You're going to know when you start doing the work that is great to you. It's not up to anybody else. It is defined entirely by you. So stop waiting for your fairy princess to come and tap you on the head. It's not coming. Start doing that work. Start finding you and what matters to you. Tune in to today's bonus episode It's amazing. I can't say enough about it. As always, you're smart, you're strong, you're beautiful. What are you going to do? Change the world.